Hello, crafters and gamers. Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. So in this video, I would like to give a short update on a little project of mine, something I've been working on for a while, but I finally managed to get a handle on the vehicles that I want to scratch build for a Star Wars oriented game. Now, for those that may not know what the project was about, I started this last year sometime, and I was first sculpting Star Wars ships out of clay and cardboard, as you see here, and they come out quite well. And I immediately saw the potential of this as a scratch build project. And originally these were on my Patreon, how I sculpted them. And the only problem with this technique, although very effective, the only problem with this technique is the fact that they take a very long time to make. Okay, at least the TIE fighters do. And so for a while, I had plenty of little X-Wings and Y-Wings, rebel ships, but I didn't have a method for actually making TIE fighters. So recently, I actually started using purely cardboard and wire and a little bit of clay here and there for making a new style of X-Wing that was a lot easier to make and reproduce. And then once the X-Wing, the figures are done, they get mounted on this L-shaped base, which allows them to bank. So, how do I make my TIE fighters? I got the idea of, I bought these beads. I always keep these beads in my craft box because I use them for a lot of different things. And just by chance, I was messing around with some of the beads, and I put this dowel across one of them, and I instantly, got the idea, holy crap, I could maybe make TIE fighters out of this. So for the cardboard collection, these would go with the cardboard X-Wings, I then started literally just making the TIE fighters using the wooden beads as the body, because TIE fighters have that unique pod structure to them, right? And then put the dowel in, and then used a little bit of clay to add more of the detail. Okay, like the front panel, that was a big thing. Here's another one. The front panel was a big thing. And then I could use paint to further give detail to the ships. And I like the way these came out. Now in this video, I'm not showing step by step how I made this. This is more of a show and tell. I use Scratch Builder Monthly as my platform for more step by step instruction on how I make these things. So I'm using Super Sculpey Firm. I make the little details on the ships with the clay. Now, two things. You can also use green stuff. You can use Milliput or Procreate clay, which I also have. And I just decided to use the Super Sculpey because I have so much of it. Then I just use my heat gun. And usually the heat gun is enough heat that it's going to harden the pieces. Okay, so either way, for some of these, I threw them right in the oven, little bead and all, and for others I use the heat gun. So either way works. These are designed in such a way that they are much simpler, and as you can see, I started this project yesterday. This is a 2-day project, and I did all of these TIE fighters. I also made a vehicle back there, which I'm going to show in a second. So these can be reproduced a lot faster. Not only that, but I can make some of the TIEs that I really like, some of the more unique TIE fighter designs with this technique. And so what I did, not only do I use a little bit of clay for this one, I used some cable ties, cut up the cable ties, and put them around the ship so that they can provide a little bit of extra detail so it's not so plain. And there you go. I have one of those exotic TIE fighters made. So these are done with a mix of cardboard, clay, and dowels, little dowels. Now the cool thing is that they're also mounted on an L-shaped stand so they can bank, just like the X-Wings, okay? So that's a cool little thing. I really like that. I am going to work on making the stands a little bit stronger. And when I succeed in that, then I'll report it on Scratch Builder Monthly. But there you go. So these guys can turn, you know, kind of spin on their stand, and it gives them, it's a really cool effect. I already showed how I made these. It's an older Scratch Builder, but you'll see the AT-STs right on the cover, or I believe it's the AT-AT as well. So I'm going to make this a sort of smaller scaled AT-AT for use in the forest. And I'm going to make one that's a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger as the standard AT-AT. So this is going to be more of a forest walker. And then I have this vehicle, which is a hovercraft. And I'm still working on this. I'm not totally finished. But it's an Imperial cargo transport that's based on the troop transport that they have. So this is an armed transport, and there's the weapon on top. It is magnetized, and I made it out of basically these wooden bits that you see here. And I used like some clothespin, the connecting wire for the clothespin. I took it out, and I used some cable ties, cable tie pieces and all that, and just made myself a basic cannon. I magnetized it with one of these paper fasteners, cut off the round bit. That's something I do a lot. And so the vehicle now has a magnetized cannon. And I still have to finish it. I need to add a little more surface detail. And then what's going to happen is ground forces, there's going to be a convoy, an Imperial convoy, and basically Julie and her X-Wings and other rebel ships are going to be attacking. And so I have to defend the convoy. There'll probably be a walker and a couple of these hovercraft, and that's it. And then hopefully I'll have some TIE fighters that will come in to give air support to the convoy. So it's kind of the rough idea that I have. I'm about to build another of these hovering transports, Imperial transports, and it all starts like that. It's all made out of cardboard. So that's really what I wanted to show you guys. I've been busy here getting scratch built projects done. I want to sculpt this month of October, so this is going to have to be finished real soon. And then I'm going to kind of let it be for a little bit while I do some of the other projects that also take priority. So we have an X-Wing. I have to make the rest of the X-Wings, the rest of the Rebel fleet out of cardboard, and then we'll have enough ships and vehicles that we can play around with the idea of a Star Wars based game. So we'll have some kind of assault on an Imperial convoy on a nice forest table or something. So yeah, I have to get busy. We're gonna start getting ready for all these games and stuff, games that are going on the channel and on our Patreon. So thank you very much, guys. And for those of you that may not know, Scratch Builder Monthly is my little monthly magazine for scratch building. October issue is already out, and there's a bunch of issues on Wargames Vault. So again, that's just another way you can help support my work if you'd like. All right, folks, thank you, and more on this interesting project soon. Thanks a lot.